So often I think people feel the responsibility to take on development opportunities. And one of the things that's important in development strategy is getting creative about where people can get learning that's not on your shoulders. So sometimes there's a cost for this. Sometimes there's something that you might want to purchase, or might want to give them a license to, or send them to a conference and reimburse. And that's all very important. I do think that there's an important infrastructure to be able to let people have choices. So you might say, hey, Heather, what's your focus on development for the next 6 to 12 months? And please go find something that you think will help to grow your skill set in that area. One, you don't have to necessarily do all the digging and making it available. It empowers people. And then typically what people do is they have up to X dollars, we'll reimburse you. So what's intriguing about that is some employees will make the choice to go find something that's under the reimbursement total so that they get reimbursed completely. Others will say, hey, I'm going to use the reimbursement, but I'm okay if I need to spend a little bit of personal dollars because of what's important to me or what this is doing for my career or something like that. So you don't put them in a box of the things that you think that they only will spend this and this is the only way that they can do this and they have to do it based on that, right? So you can give some flexibility there. The other thing to think about is, and some of this I think you can make available, but a lot of this you can say, hey, here's examples of things that we believe that you can grow in externally, and we want to know about them and connect them to your development plan. And so one of the things that I learned a lot with an employee of mine who was really wanting to build his skill set in certain areas is he and his family members were focused on serving in this particular area of the community. And so he worked really hard to get on a board for this particular arts program and different things that they were focused on. And so what he and I did in his career development conversations and development feedback and those types of things is I would ask him, how are things going on the board? What are you learning? What skill sets are you moving forward? We had set some goals that said, hey, he wanted to really work on his executive presence and his influence. These are some of the different things that he wanted to be able to show up with and be able to lead. That was a bit different in the role that he was doing, but he wanted to lead how they would move some things forward organizationally and sort of project manage. And so we would talk about that. So he was using this thing that he was totally personally connected with in a way that was helping, and I was helping him connect that to the goals that he had for his own development plan. And there was no cost to us. I just encouraged him to go and spend some time there. I think a few times a year he left early to be able to help with planning their big functions and getting that set up. And I made that available. And so there was a little bit of an individual conversation and making sure that we could feel good about that. So I think what's interesting is when you think about external learning opportunities, think about where they're serving in the community. Think about, how they're serving if they have kids, their kids' school, where they're showing up, where they're learning different things, maybe even in their spouse's business and the things that they're learning. And there definitely can be going to classes and courses and all of that. The key is that you're helping them tie that back to their work. So if you say, great, go forth and take a certification, I'd love for you to be able to do this, but you're not helping to give them the connection opportunity to say, here's how this is really going to make an impact on this project that we're doing, then you're missing one of the best pieces of the learning. So external learning opportunities, help them to see what they are. If you need to put some policies around it to kind of cap what you'd reimburse, if you're comfortable reimbursing, get that in place. And then give examples of different ways that people are learning, but ask your leaders when they are learning these things or they go to a class that your leaders are in turn coaching them and trying to understand and pull out that learning about how it applies to their work.